The year is 1898. William McKinley is president. He makes an urgent call to Commodore George Dewey after getting the news from Havana.
You'll never believe what happened, Dewey.
What happened, sir?
You must come to my office now to talk.
Sir, yes, sir.
Oh, good you're here. Sit down.
Okay, sir. What you want to talk about?
It's the Spaniards. They blew up the Maine.
What?
Yes. So I think it's time for war. But we can't just show up in Guantanamo Bay, guns blazing, saying, "Hey, Cuba, we're gonna attack." No, we can't do that. We need reasons. Let me think. Alright, Dewey. You've done your part. You leave for Cuba when I tell you.
On April 11, 1898, President McKinley gave his war message. It included 4 points. 1. Put an end to the barbarities, bloodshed, starvation, and horrible miseries in Cuba. 2. Protect the lives and property of all U.S. citizens living in Cuba. 3. Put an end to the very serious injury to the commerce, trade, and business of our people. 4. Put an end to the constant menace of our people arising from disorder in Cuba. 9 days later, Congress issued the Teller Amendment. This said that the U.S. had no intention of taking political control of Cuba. Once peace was restored, though, Cubans would control their government again.
It's over.
So, how'd it go?
I lost about 500 in battle. You left 5,000. Diseases. Those diseases.
That's not good. At least we won, though.
Exactly, though. That's all that matters.
I've actually noticed something, though. Something different.
What is that, sir?
I've seen a shift in American ideologies. A lot of people have given up on capitalism and isolationism, and on to progressivism.
That's a lot of isms.
Oh, haha, very funny. No, I'm serious about this. I really think the war changed people. Mr. McGill, did you hear the news? What is it, Theodore? We won! Of course we did. Brian had no clue what he was talking about with his Silver Standard idea. Mr. President, have you heard about the issues in the Supreme Court? Of course I did. Who hasn't? But I don't understand why they're arguing. Why obtain more land we don't even need?
I don't know. Brian and those anti-imperialists wanted it for some reason. We shouldn't care anyways.
I don't know either. At least the imperialists won. We didn't need those islands anyway.
I think it's time to take our troops out of Cuba.
Oh, yes, I agree, but Cuba should have to accept some terms first. Can't get off without any problems. It's been successful 4 years.
I agree, Mr. President.
Thus, the plot amendment was fabricated in 1901. This was made so conflicts with Cuba would never happen again. 1. Never sign a treaty with a foreign power that impaired its independence. 2. You must never build up an excessive public debt. 3. Permit the United States to intervene in Cuba's affairs to preserve its independence and maintain law and order. 4. Allow the United States to maintain naval bases in Cuba, including one at Guantanamo Bay.
The following information was not included in the video, but is very important how the Spanish-American War shaped America. Some causes of the war were demands by Cuban patriots to gain their independence back from Spanish rule. After the 10 Years' War, sympathy for Cubans ran high in America. Some that added to this were the concentration camps set up by Valeriano, Weyler, and Nicola. These feelings were fueled by the Yellow Press, mainly the New York Journal, and the New York World. Most Americans, including McKinley, wanted to end the war peacefully. They didn't want to fight. A series of incidents made this impossible, though. First was the Delone letter, sent and written by a Spanish diplomat in 1898 that criticized McKinley drastically. Second was the sinking of the Maine. The Treaty of Paris was signed after the war by Spain and the United States. It was very generous to the United States. The U.S. received the Philippines, Guam, and Puerto Rico. Cuba became independent, and Spain received $20 million for its losses. This caused a huge debate between anti-imperialists and imperialists. The anti-imperialists argued that America was being hypocritical. They were trying to end European empires from being created when they were creating their own. People said the war was about freeing Cuba, not about gaining the Philippines. Tensions rose when Filipino rebels led by Emilio Aguinaldo led a 3-year insurrection in the Philippines, killing many of their new American colonists. The Spanish-American War lasted only 10 weeks, when the Filipino insurrection lasted 3 years and claimed almost 400 American lives. There was also unrest in the Philippines. General Arthur MacArthur set up reconcentration camps like the ones Spain set up in Cuba, but he set them up in the Philippines. This claimed many American lives, and they further fueled a Cuban rebellion that lasted until Americans captured Aguinaldo in 1901. Finally, this war was given a nickname. Secretary of State John Hay named this war a splendid little war.
Once the Spanish-American War was over, Spain had lost all of its territories in the Caribbean and the Pacific. Thus, Spain had lost its status as a major imperial power to the United States.